Hello there. Welcome back to the lands of Aecathan. No professionals, no fancy tech, just a group of women playing an all-original game of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Jeff, and when you find yourself in a battle with the Thwilnu, remember that you can always throw the tops of kitchen cupboards at them. That is, after all, how one launches a successful counterattack.
I think I might have taken that joke for granted. Granite countertops.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's what I had.
It was fine.
That's adequate.
That's almost worse than awful. Oof.
I mean, it's no landslide, but
Right.
so
Nothing,
few things are.
I don't think anything will ever top the landslide, so. Well, let me catch you up on what happened in the last episode before we dive into whatever's going to happen this evening. After a breakfast in the private dining room at Duneshadow Manor, Tasha contacted Corporal Herring Vines Sherrier, an old traveling companion of theirs, and asked if he could join them for the assault on the Thwilnu. He agreed, and then after Jas took some time cleaning up and donning the new clothes that Gwenlaryn got for him, Arabelle, Tasha, and Jas headed to General Warbender's office to request that Vines be officially attached to their team, and then it was off to the Shouting Pirate in search of Viessa. After chatting with JoJo briefly, they headed down into her complex, finding her in her pub. After verifying that she had not had any memories altered, the situation in Ballinamard was explained to her, and Viessa was asked for her assistance in searching for additional Thwilnu conclaves beneath the other towns and cities in Aecathan. She agreed, and after being introduced to Jas, offered him the same opportunity his father once enjoyed while working for her. He asked for time to consider that. The entire group then reconvened in the Pirate for a late lunch and to give Jas a chance to talk to JoJo about his experiences aboard a ship, something that Jas seemed intrigued with. That evening, Vines arrived and was checked and briefed on the situation. Shortly thereafter, Master Obrus arrived with a halfling mage he introduced as Arbogast Clayhanger, or Bo, as he likes to be called, who will be accompanying the group on behalf of the Tower of Azanor. After Obrus briefed the assembled on the full extent of the Noctomancy spells he had deciphered from the tomes located in the ruined Temple of Othalthok, Father Dilbus arrived with a young half-elven woman he introduced as Sephyrna von Alfthen, a cleric of Balmus, who Arabelle was able to identify as a fellow member of the Ermahian nobility. Master Obrus and Father Dilbus then departed, leaving the group with Mother Tassa for whatever additional information she had discovered, as well as hearing what she learned from speaking with the various Sept Sages. And that is where we pick up this evening. All 8 in the conference room with Mother Tassa.
Hello.
I was going to say, don't everyone speak at once.
Well, basically, we just need to know kind of what Mother Tassa found out about the things that we had asked about.
She's already been seated and offered beverages and the usual, right?
Right.
Mother Tassa, do you have information for us?
Some. I'm afraid it's probably not as much as you'd prefer. But the sages were very tentative in their answers. They are not satisfied with 113-year-old intelligence. In fact, getting information out of them was difficult at all. They don't like to be wrong. and they're very nervous that the information we knew may not be accurate any longer. In terms of your question, Zorith, about whether or not being soulkin would give you any sort of protection against the Thwilnu such as we have, the sages were inconclusive. They suggested that a full immunity is highly unlikely, but that perhaps some additional resistance could filter through, but they were unsure. In terms of whether or not there are any magical items or magical spells apart from Noctomancy that would benefit you when dealing with the Thwilnu, they were able to come up with two answers. There is a spell and a magical item. The spell is called Mind Blank, and it is quite effective in shrouding a mind from detection. Basically, anyone who attempts to reach out to that mind finds a blank. They find an empty space and are not able to actually make contact with the mind. The magical item makes a certain amount of sense, but I wasn't going to say anything until I consulted with the sages, because I know it works against magical mental intrusion. But I did not know if it would work against the Dakegoth. They believe that it offers at least partial, if not full, protection. It's called a Ring of Mind Shielding.
I imagine those are hard to come by.
Bo kind of snorts under his breath. Would it surprise you to find out there's one in this very room?
You have one?
Nope. But he does. And he points at Jas.
Oh.
And Jas is like, Wait, I what?
This explains much.
That ring you're wearing on your finger there. That's my father's ring. He left it to me. So you're not for knowing that it's magical? Well, it's magical to me because it was my dad's. No, I mean really magical, boy. It's, like, actually magical, actually? Aye, and a pretty powerful ring at that.
Well then,
Okay.
that would be the reason.
Yes.
That explains a lot.
Wait a minute. So, does this mean that I didn't need to keep repeating things over and over in my head for days on end?
Well, we don't know, right? Because he said it could either protect you or just add extra resistance. So that combined with what you did might have.
Well, I suppose that makes me feel a little better. But why wouldn't my dad tell me his ring was magical?
Maybe he didn't know.
Maybe he thought he'd have more time to tell you.
I suppose. Well, either way, boy. That's something to definitely hang on to. Especially if you're thinking of going home. Well, maybe? I don't know, I have a lot to think about.
You do.
Well, apparently that That lends some credibility to what the sages suggested.
It does.
And, young man, I'm glad that you had that ring. So much that we know came from you. If you had not been able to, however, resist the intrusions, we would have much less of an idea what has happened, let alone the ability to formulate a plan of action.
Thanks, I guess. I mean, I kind of feel funny saying thanks for something that really wasn't my fault, probably. But you're welcome, I guess.
As to your third question, there actually is not much that we can do when we are in our human forms. One of the conditions of my loss of self all those years was that in my mind I was elven, and because of that I was able to master levels of wizardry that are not compatible with the draconic mind. So, in this form, now that I have recalled my draconic heritage and reclaimed it, I fear most of those powers are gone. If at some point the Thwilnu can be brought to the surface, we would definitely aid you. But we likely cannot fit in their tunnel systems in our natural form. And if we are not able to assume our natural form, we would be of less use to you than anyone at the table.
Do you know where we could get more of those rings?
I don't, but I would imagine the same place that you were able to get the other things that you have. Perhaps there are merchants that have them. Perhaps your contacts at the tower. I'm certain that they can be made, but they are very powerful and would likely take a significant amount of time to create. Time that I fear you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Not if we wish to stop the Thwilnu at the borders of Ballinamard.
I'm going to go over to Tosk and whisper to him and ask him to send someone to the most likely merchants in Erma and inquire as to whether this is something that they have or can acquire, or if they know anyone that has one, that kind of thing.
I will send Goethe out immediately.
I send a message to Oberys.
Okay.
What was the name of the spell?
The spell? Mind Blank.
Okay, so Ring of Mind Blank?
No, it's Ring of Mind Shielding is the magic item. The spell is called Mind Blank.
Oberys, can you find any Ring of Mind Shielding? Or rings of mind shielding? That would aid us in our quest.
You have 9 words left if you want to use them.
You can reply.
After a brief pause,
Those are very sought after. We have made many in the past, but they have all gone to dignitaries and high-ranking army officials.
Of course. There are none available at the tower.
yes, the magic items go common, uncommon, rare. These are rare.
Figured.
Is that something that we could borrow from a dignitary or that they could request a loan?
Seems unlikely.
We might want the dignitaries to be wearing theirs.
Yeah.
Understood.
Indeed. I wonder why my father was not wearing his.
It's a good question. Assuming he had one.
I would think the leader of the second largest city in the country would have one.
You would think. Maybe you could reach out and ask him.
Mm-mm.
If he's not using it, maybe he could loan it.
I could certainly
Ask
try,
everyone.
although I can almost guarantee that were I to contact him, his reply would have nothing to do with my question.
I would ask Aerolacus.
Perhaps that would be a better choice.
Perhaps it would.
So you see him quietly humming something. He's silent for a minute, then his head tilts. Ah. Aerolacus says that he does have one, and he is wearing it now, because Aerolacus pushed the issue. It was something that he associated with my mother, and after her passing, he decided to stop wearing.
I see.
Wow.
At least he's wearing it now.
True.
I mean, yeah.
You see Athgarr kind of lean back in his chair, and he looks like he's thinking hard about something. But
What?
he doesn't say anything else.
Hmm. Well,
You're muted, Annette, you know.
Athgarr, can you cast Mind Blink?
I am certain that I do not have it prepared, but let me think for a moment and see if it's something I can actually access. I am sensing nothing from Dressfiend when I petition for that ability, so I would say I cannot.
Bo, can you cast it?
You see him flipping through his spellbook. I'm looking, it sounds familiar, but Again, I know it's nothing that I've got memorized at the moment. I don't think so. Nope. It's not in me book.
Okay.
All right. We'll rely on our buff spells from Noctomancy to help us resist.
I wish there was more that I could offer in the way of information that would be helpful.
It's okay.
Well, thank you
you've
for this information.
We've answered some of our questions.
I will reach out to those that I can and ask if anyone happens to have such an item in their hoard, and ask if they would be willing to trade it for something. Barter is definitely an easier ask than a gift or a loan.
Understandable.
Apart from that, I don't know what else I can provide you.
It's okay.
You've told us a lot. Thank you.
Yes.
I wish I could do more. I also wish, at this very moment, that I had not remembered my draconic heritage. Because I would very much like to accompany you and inflict some damage upon the Thwilnu. I was trapped in my other form when Thath Toxun was raised. Had we been awake, we likely could have stopped it.
It's probably why they trapped you.
It's something that I will regret for a very long time.
It's not your burden to bear.
That doesn't change the feeling.
No.
Well, I will go and begin visiting with those that I trust, and I will see if something can be done additionally to aid you. Have you an idea when you will depart?
Probably within the next day or two.
All right. It's
Our
not-
team is assembled. We'll just need to grab any provisions needed and plan our strategy. Do you have any insights on that?
Were it my operation, the first people that I would want to subvert would be the leaders of the community. For as the leaders go, so do the people that follow them.
That was our thinking as well.
Somewhere in Ballinamard, the Thwilnu have access to the surface. And likely at this point, it is no longer hidden, so that they and their creatures can come and go as they please. They control the city, why hide? So finding that access point is the first step in all of this. I would start with the places of leadership. Beyond that, I hope you are able to locate them and exterminate them.
We'll do our best.
I am usually not one to advocate violence if there are other alternatives, but in this case, if not a single Thwilnu or one of their creatures is left capable of thought and movement by the end of your excursion, I will count that as a blessing.
Understood.
Well, I shall leave you to the rest of your preparations. If I am able to encounter anything that aids you, trust that I will notify you.
Thank you. Wish us well.
Always. You carry with us the hopes of the other 5 septs.
We will try not to let you down.
I don't believe you will.
And she just kind of nods and
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. No. Yes.
First of all, so that's a dragon,
Yes.
right? That explains why she glowed. She said other 5 septs. There's more than
Yes.
5?
There's 6 metallic dragon septs.
Copper, silver, brass, bronze, and gold. I only know 5 from the song.
And Mithril, the
Yes.
newest sept.
There's mithril dragons. Well, that's
Well-
new. Why didn't you put that in the song?
Because we hadn't been selected to be a sept at that time.
We are honorary dragons.
We are the mithril sept.
Son of a
People.
bitch.
Zorith represents us on the Draconic Council.
Son of a bitch. You see, Sephyrna looks a little green.
Insight check. Is it jealousy or is it something else?
Roll your insight check.
Ooh, natural kraken.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on, now I gotta
Tell
find
her all the things.
I was asked to do it as well, but I'll just let Zori do it.
Perception, right?
Insight.
Insight. Ugh, 21. Perception is 26, but insight's 21.
Right. This is clearly information that Sephyrna did not have, and
Why would she?
she, Zori, from watching her, you consider that she considers herself superior to everyone here, or did.
Got it.
And
Got it.
suddenly she's realizing that
We're kind of a big deal.
her social status means less than nothing right now.
Correct. Okay. Okay. I just kind of hold a grin to myself and just. Okay.
Excuse me, Lady Van Alphen, are you well? Your color's turned.
Thank you. I'm fine.
Was that Vines?
I don't want to like twist her a little bit.
Would you like a glass of sherry or something to settle your stomach?
That would be acceptable.
Giggle.
I go over and speak to Tosk.
And he
I
goes
see.
over to the sideboard and opens it up and pulls out a glass and a bottle and pours it and brings it to her.
I say to Sephyrna, I actually recently had the opportunity to spend some time in the Baldness Temple at the Sanctum,
Did you?
down in the forges.
Why were you down in the forges?
I was assisting in the crafting of my new weapon. It was quite the experience.
Your new weapon.
Yes. I can't remember the guy's name. Ow.
I'll find it. I will find it. I will find it. Temple of Ballinamard, Variable Sword, Derald.
Gerald.
Geralt.
Derahld. Well, no.
Gerald, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes, I spent a couple of days with Gerald.
You?
I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. He even offered me a job if I wanted to come do that.
You see so many emotions running under her skin.
Sorry,
And she
Marlon.
just says, well, good for you.
Oh, and Arabelle's so nice about it. Not at all like a.
Mm-hmm.
She's just trying to make conversation, something they have in common.
I have not had the opportunity to meet the Master Forger.
Oh, I didn't know he was the master forger.
He is.
Well, isn't it lucky that you know our dear friend Lady Arabelle? Perhaps she could make an introduction.
I'm sure that won't be necessary.
Suit yourself. I'm sure that such opportunities will come to you in time.
She just sips her sherry, and her hand is trembling slightly.
Did you want to see the sword?
I'm sure that I will see it in action.
Oh.
It's quite all right.
Well, Vines here hasn't seen it. Perhaps you could show him, Arabelle.
That's true. I haven't
That's
seen-
true.
So, am I to understand that you actually had a hand in making this sword yourself?
Yes, evidently, part of the casting and to bind it to me, I needed to be involved in forging it.
I admit I have always wondered exactly what additional steps went into making a magical weapon. I've seen a blacksmith make mundane weapons, but I've never seen the creation of a magical one.
She pulls it out.
Excuse me.
It's what's known
Ah.
as
She whips us out.
Holy Avenger.
That is beautiful. And it is a very well-formed weapon, if I may say so. You did a remarkable job for this being, I assume, your first time trying to craft a weapon.
Well, I could not have done it without Geralt, of course.
Well, if you were in the hands of a master forger, that doesn't surprise me.
It's a great honor that I was given the opportunity to wield this.
When you pulled the sword out, Bo's eyes got really big. Well, I often wondered if I'd see something magical that glowed about as bright as that dragon lady did. And now I know. That's a might powerful thing you got in your hand there, lady.
It is
Oof.
all meant to further the work of the lady.
Aye. I fancy myself as someone who furthers the work of my lady as well. She approves of blowing things up. As long as it's done skillfully. You're muted.
Of course.
Because my cat unmuted me,
Oh.
or muted me. Said you'll find like-minded allies in this group who also enjoy blowing things up.
Oh, excellent. Well, I think this is going to be a bit of fun. Here's hoping we don't die. Make for a great story back in the bar.
And we
our
have
stories-
storytellers.
Yeah, we like our stories to be able to be told firsthand.
It does make things a little easier.
I have-
difficult to get stories across from the other side.
I have minor gifts in that area. I would imagine Sephyrna will be our best bet to keep us all alive. So we're lucky to have her with us.
And she just kind of stares at you for a second and then lifts the glass and takes another
I
sip.
nod back.
Well, if I may ask, what are the sleeping arrangements? Should I be preparing to head to the barracks?
No, we have a space for you here. The same space that you occupied before.
Oh. Well, I do thank you.
We have spaces for all of you.
That will make it much, much easier. Aye, don't have to go traipsing across town. I'm out for that. I'm not worried about going out in town, but, accidents do happen.
Should I make the mansion?
Athgarr is making his. He had some work to do as well.
I actually believe I'm finished. Just if you wouldn't mention that to the young halfling woman.
I'll do my best to keep that information to myself.
Could we have?
What's it worth to you?
Should we have?
What did you have in mind?
A
I'm
tour.
just teasing.
How about a tour?
Oh, of course.
Should we have refreshments in the mansion, or did you want to see if Kaylin? It's Kaylin, right?
I'm sure she would be
Or if Sephyrna
mortally
could.
offended if we didn't indulge her.
Yeah.
Well, I do have room for everyone to relax and dine. I don't know that I have room for everyone to sleep.
That's all right. We have the rooms taken care of.
We'll need some rooms in the mansion because you don't have enough in the house. Right?
Right, but I know that Athgarr was planning to stay in the mansion.
Yes, I have.
He actually reaches down into a sack on his hip and pulls out a notebook and flips it open and looks, and
You may
6 sleeping rooms.
You may want to add 2 more since there are 8 of us, and potentially the only safe places for us to sleep are interdimensional spaces.
Well,
Unless
Sorry.
you have these rooms set up for doubles.
Doubles.
I believe the beds are big enough for 2.
I can always
There
show
are also 3 very comfortable couches in the living room.
All right.
Okay. We should have double up or couches or plenty of places to stay, because it will be important for us to have long rests safely.
Yes.
Agreed.
So as we're doing our planning, look around, find your sleeping buddy.
Would imagine.
Well, there would
Lori
be
and I could
there would be only 2 that would need to double up.
Well, Zori and I have shared and before.
Yes.
I mean, the 4 of us know each other the best. I'd hate to ask one of our guests to share
Exactly.
when they don't know.
I'll share with Gwen.
Thanks.
Well, I don't know. I suppose I could be talked into it if it was, the right person on the other end of the bed.
This is
Well, I know
much more
Athgar's been looking for a bed partner, so that might work out.
Not exactly what I was thinking, but and Vine says, "Well, I actually have my kit and my bedroll. If there's any place that's got a rug on the floor, I could just set up there. I'd be fine."
A bed will be provided for you.
Yes, you're welcome to make use of the couches. There are definitely rugs, and the entire building is warm.
We rather pride ourselves on being able to provide comfortable accommodations for those who adventure with us. No one should go hungry or tired due to poor accommodations on our part.
Agreed. When I initially came up with this design, however, I was only expecting 5.
Understood. We'll make it work. That being said, what time of day are we looking at right now?
It's evening.
Has everyone
Probably
dined?
8. Yeah, probably it's 8-ish.
Does anyone care for any further refreshment this evening? A bit of dessert or a glass of wine.
A glass of wine would be good.
I would certainly not say no to a glass of wine.
Okay. So, since I assume Tosk is busy with some of the requests that I've made of him, I'm just going to go and...
He's actually standing near the door. He's been farming out the requests to other members of the staff so that he can stay.
Okay. Then I'll nod to him and ask him to bring over a couple bottles of wine and some glasses, and I'll pour out.
Okay. He nods and leaves the room.
So I fill everyone's glasses.
Well, he hasn't come back with it yet.
Oh, okay.
He leaves the room to go get it.
Gotcha. Okay. What questions might everyone have about this adventure of ours?
Well, Jas. I'm sorry, Jas.
Jess?
Where are the leaders most likely to be?
Well, each of the council members have their own house. All of the clan leaders have their own house. There's the town hall where the council meets. There's the shaman's lodge. So, yeah, I'm afraid there's a lot to choose from.
Can you give us the names of the leaders? Maybe just jot them down for us in order of who's most in charge?
Sure.
Question about the shaman lodge.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you said the shamans were, unfortunately, did not make it. Is the lodge still standing?
As far as I know. I mean, I haven't been there recently. I haven't really gone out of the inn much. But, as far as I know, it was. And we only know that the elder shaman and his journeyman were killed. The apprentice, no one knows what happened to him, so...
Right. Because that might make a good base of operations. That would be safe, but I don't know. Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Athgarr,
Yeah. Yes.
are there any shamans in Thunder's Edge?
I don't know what that is.
That's not part of our clan structure.
Okay.
Wow, wait a minute. You mean you guys don't have shaman?
No.
I don't believe so, unless they're called something else in Thunder's Edge.
Huh. I thought it was like a barbarian thing.
And it very well might be, but it very well might have a different name.
Can you tell us what the shaman do in Ballinamard, and then
It's kind of hard to say because I don't know. They keep really what they do kind of secret. It's only just ever 3 of them that know actually what they do, but I know that the council treats them like equals. So they're, I guess, pretty powerful, and they're kind of like, I don't know, I heard stories about them talking to the spirits of nature. But
the person that I heard the story from said that it was different from the druids. That it was like they got their powers directly from the elements, I guess? Something like that? I don't know.
Vines, have you ever heard of anything like that?
I have not. We, obviously, as do some of you, we do deal with elementals and elemental energy. But worshipping things, such as elemental powers, that's not something I'm familiar with. Insofar as themselves, obviously, as part of nature, air, water, fire, earth, we understand its role in the natural order of the world. But this, from what this young man is saying, it doesn't sound the same. Sounds like he's talking about something similar, but noticeably different.
Yeah, we've had druids come through and stay at the inn, and they've, I guess, gone and talked to the shamans. They never seemed real happy when they came back. I know that much. But I don't know what they talked about. Well, have you got some parchment and a pen maybe that I can use? And I'll write down those names for you.
Of course.
All right.
I'll just go to my desk and fetch the things he needs.
Okay.
Have you already summoned your mansion, Athgarr?
I have not done so yet.
Are we planning on heading into Ballinamard tomorrow?
Well, I think we should spend a good portion of tomorrow coming up with a plan. So maybe we take another day.
Okay. I was just thinking the night before we plan on heading into Ballinamard, it might be good to go ahead and teleport and sleep in the mansion nearby, so that Zorith can cast teleport if she needed to. Again.
Prepare. Yes. That actually makes a certain amount of sense.
That way we have all of those high level spells that day.
Yeah. I like it. So let's spend the night here and work up a plan. And then tomorrow night, go to Ballinamard, sleep in the mansion, begin.
Sounds good.
Now, am I the only one with teleport? Athgarr, yours is teleportation circle, correct?
No, I can actually cast teleport as well.
Oh, but you won't be able to. Oh, you were there with us, weren't you? Yeah. You went with us to Ballinamard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So he can teleport also.
I could also do it if you give me a day. I know the spell, but I don't currently have it memorized.
That would be a good thing.
Maybe.
Well,
depends on what you're giving up for it.
I'm quite fond of me special fireball.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
So, I'd rather not give it up if I don't have to.
We have 2 people who can do it. That's enough.
Good to know. All right, so what is it you wish to do for the rest of the evening?
Probably just shoot the breeze.
Maybe come up with that plan for, I mean, I know when we're going to go in, but do we want to talk about things like marching orders and just the general things that people about to go into a battle together would need to coordinate to make sure that we're on the same page and not blowing each other up?
Yeah, let's start tonight.
Maybe we're used to fighting with each other, but learning a little bit about our new allies, what they can do, their specialties, and we can share ours.
So, other than blowing things up, do you have any other specialties?
I'm not too bad at bringing in help. Although my help isn't pretty, but it's effective.
Do you prefer to stay back from the hand-to-hands?
Oh, absolutely.
I figured, but just checking.
Anyone else a distant fighter?
I magically am not well versed in many combat magics, as my focus is on healing.
Okay.
But what magical attacks I do have, I can inflict from a distance. But
Okay.
if need be, I can also enter combat with my weapons.
Well, unfortunately, since we don't know what we're going into, I bet healing is probably going to be essential.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It is and will be my priority.
Thank you. And vines, we know about vines. And
Have you learned anything new?
I have been practicing my wild shape abilities.
Oh.
So I have added to my repertoire of things that I may become.
That's neat.
But again, most of them are more appropriate for frontline than from beyond. Magically, I too am better from a distance, although I can hold my own if an enemy gets too close.
okay.
And we tell them what we do as well, if they're not familiar with what we
Right.
do.
How do I ask this in game? Who's got the best initiative? Like, who's going to be going mostly first?
That's Gwen.
Particularly quick reflexes tend to spring into combat.
Bo raises his hand.
As
Oh.
as a battle mage, I found it especially helpful if I can throw the explosions before the infantry goes in.
That's what I thought.
So, I have practiced responding very quick and focused my studies on that type of fast response. Out of game, he has a plus 15 initiative.
Good goddess.
I wanted to make sure that I make sure that somebody that was blowing things up goes first-ish.
Makes sense. All right, so we figure out where the Thwilnu are coming from. We infiltrate. We let Bo blow things up. Arabella and Gwen will be the upfront people. I'll be kind of in the middle so that I can protect the spellcaster if I have to. And we'll have everybody else behind me. Vines can be up in the middle with me.
And I will likely be there as well.
Yes. I will leave Bo, Zori, and
Sephyrna.
Sephyrna in the back.
Bo's gonna be in the frontish.
No.
Bo's in the back, but he'll likely go first. But
Okay.
he throws from a distance, so.
Because he needs to make sure that our cleric is safe.
Yeah, and that's why the cleric is in the back as well.
That's the rudimentary plan.
6.
Does anybody have any suggestion?
Sounds good to me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing
I
something.
would
Oh.
actually suggest that I should be more in the center,
Okay.
because I should have as easy an access to everyone as possible.
All right.
Are there things that you need to supply before we head out?
I brought everything that I shall need. Aye, Master Roberts told me, bring everything that you think you can use, because he didn't know if we were going to have time to restock anywhere, so I've got pretty much everything I'm going to need. I, of course, have everything that I usually carry when I go out, so if there are other things that I need, I am not aware of them.
All right.
Okay.
Vines are. Does anyone have the ability to carry additional magic items?
Everyone attuned to. Is that what you're asking? Is everybody attuned to all the things that they've got?
Yeah. Does anybody have attunement slots? Is what.
Yeah.
Everybody shakes their head.
Oh, I forgot what I was doing. Now I remember. So I have, for 2s, I have Gwen and Arabelle, Athgarr and Zorith, Sephyrna and Tasha, Vines and Bo. Does that sound about right? For doubles?
Yeah.
You want to be that close?
What?
Did you say Zorith and after? What did you say?
Yeah, Gwen and Arabelle, Athgarr and Zoreth, Sephyrna and Tasha, Vines and Bo.
You want to be that close to the front?
No, but my option, Tasha said she wanted to be closer to the back.
No, I said I'm in the middle.
Okay.
You be behind me.
Athgarr, Tasha, Sephyrna, and myself.
And actually, if Sephyrna is going to be in the middle, perhaps I should be in the back, so we have someone at least marginally capable of melee standing with the wizard as protection.
Agreed.
Well, I certainly won't argue with that, boyo.
That just messes up my 2x2s, so I don't know where you want to go, Athgarr. You tell me.
Why not put me in the very back with Bo?
All right, Vines, are you okay being close up to the front?
I will travel wherever you put me.
Brilliant.
So you could do Gwen and Arabelle.
Vines and Tasha.
Or Sephyrna and Tasha.
Vines and Tasha.
Sephyrna and Zoreth, and then Bo and Athgarr.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Sephyrna, if we had to go one by one, I don't necessarily know if it would go in this order, but I figured just if we had to go by twosies, we would have a...
And that should be fine because Vines and I have
Healing.
as well.
Okay. I have our 2 by sides.
So, that, if I understand correctly, that actually means that we have someone with healing in every row.
Athgarr.
Yes, Athgarr can heal as well.
Because, yes, I can heal too.
And I can heal too.
Wow, excellent.
But not at the same level, obviously.
No.
Sephyrna.
No,
Emergency, I guess.
no, we are fortunate to have a dedicated healer with us.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you, Sephyrna. Okay, what else?
Sephyrna and Vines. I have in my bag
Oh, that's right. That's what I was doing.
a rod of resurrection. It would require some time to attune it to yourself, but if there's a need.
Understood.
We have a ring of my own shielding in the bag. In the
We have one in the horde.
we have one in the horde.
Are you kidding?
All right,
Nope.
which one of us remembers that?
I don't remember it.
I was gonna say if we, because you asked me.
I asked you, yes, I thought we had a second rod of resurrection, so you were looking for that.
That's what I was looking for.
So we might go in the portable hold tonight before
Yeah, to see if we've got anything
that we need.
right, because yeah, okay. Boy, there's a bunch of things in here. Oh gosh.
I didn't recall that there was one in the horde, so...
Yeah, and it's actually green, which is insane. It's not like purple or legendary or anything. I promise it was in there. I didn't add it. It was in there. We also have a hat of disguise. Just saying.
Oh.
What?
Apparently, Mother Tassa's information is out of date.
Oh, Ring of Mind Shielding does not work?
No, but she recalled them as being quite rare. And they're not anymore.
Oh.
Mm-mm. They are green.
They
That's
are
uncommon,
simply
right?
uncommon.
Oh, so maybe we'll be able to find some?
Tosk me, find some in Irma. That would be ideal.
Oh, you can make the ring invisible so nobody can tell you're wearing it.
Nice.
That's pretty fancy. Oh, this should be a big deal. If you die while wearing the ring, your soul enters it unless it already houses a soul. You can remain in the ring or depart for the afterlife. This is like a pretty big deal. And it's green. Interesting. It's pretty fancy. Oh. Oh.
What trouble are you getting into now?
I was just thinking if Jas's dad is in his ring. Just out of curiosity. Because it says
he can telepathically communicate with
any creature wearing it. And a wearer cannot prevent the telepathic communication.
What?
So we need to find out if there's somebody in our ring, first of all. I'm telling you, Jeff and Mother Tassa are right. This should be like...
Here's the thing, though. It requires attunement, so...
Well, true.
We're going to play that thing again of what are we going to attune?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean,
who's going to sacrifice something to wear it?
Right, I'm not giving up my amulet, right?
I can. Remember,
Here's the question. How important are the amulets?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a question to mull over and not answer in 5 minutes.
I'm mulling.
Yeah.
I have something. I mean, I could give up my fire resistant or my fire elemental ring for.
I can give up the wand of the war mage whilst it's giving me +2 to spell attack rolls. My spell attacks are 13, so it would drop me down to 11. So +11 is still pretty high. So if I had to, which actually it would make some sense to have somebody that can teleport with the mind shielding. Something to think about.
Zori, can you ask Mother Tassa if she thinks that the amulets will be really useful against the Thwilnu?
Sure, she just left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, it's me, Zora. I know you just left, but if you know anything about, is it 25 just like everything else, or is it just
there's no limit.
Okay. You know, we have these amulet of proof against detection and location. Is that something that the Thwilnu or their horrors would use once they know we're coming? Would they scry on us, do you think? Or is that something that we can forego? And out of character, we've got 3 people who don't have any, so...
Yeah.
Just saying. Sorry.
My experience with the Thwilnu suggests that while they themselves do not have powers that reach out and locate someone specifically, and I do not believe their creatures do either, that is not the concern. The concern is those who have been made their mind slaves
Oh.
may have access to magics that those amulets would thwart.
Okay.
Just something to consider.
Well, I guess we should keep him.
And I tell everybody that, sorry. Mind slaves. Okay.
There is something that I could, I suppose, let go of. I don't
What?
suppose it's going to be of much use against creatures that invade one's dreams. And he reaches up and moves his hands over his hair and pulls off a cap that you hadn't seen before. This is what I used to assume different visages when I was working for your aunt.
Right.
Head of disguise, right?
Yes. And he fits it back on, and you see it just sort of fade out.
Okay.
No.
One of the 2 teleporters should have... We'll go through our stuff tonight and see if we have anything that will effectively work. For us.
All right. Gwen, could some of our group stay physically here this evening?
Yes.
Of course, I thought that our guests could stay here and enjoy the manor, and the rest of us can bunk elsewhere if need be.
All right. Well, I am, I think, prepared to have guests.
How lovely. Lead the way.
Where should the door be?
Why don't we set it up right off of this room so that the entrance is in this room where people can access it, but it's still under the protection of the home.
All right. He gets up and walks over to the outer side wall and pulls his lute over his shoulder and begins playing a tune that sounds a bit like one of the folk tunes from Thunder's Edge. And he's humming a counterpoint along with his playing.
Sounds like home.
It takes a minute. So, while he's doing that, Tosk steps up. Would you like me to show the rest of your guests to their rooms?
Yes, please.
If you will, follow me. And Sephyrna and Bo and Vines get up and follow Tosk out the door. So where am I sleeping? We have room for you. You'll be sleeping in the mansion with us. Oh. Okay, but this is different than the one I was in before? Yes. You could definitely say that. And he makes a gesture and the door appears.
Lead the way.
All right. You walk through the door and walk into what immediately looks and feels like a desert plantation. There are windows in the main room that appear to look out on desert. And it is significantly warmer in here than it is in Tasha's mansion. And Athgarr just kind of looks around. Well, so far it looks right. I did take some of my cues from Tasha's mansion, so to the left is the kitchen, to the right is the living room. However, I do not have separate floors. And he moves back toward the back of the room. There are twin fireplaces that have low fires in them, and there's a set of double doors that he opens, and it opens up into a short hallway and then into a large room with a circular table surrounded by 8 chairs.
This is wonderful.
There are candles on the table. There are lanterns up on the walls. And there are 2 staircases leading up about half a flight. One straight across from the entrance and one off to the left. He says, the doors, that is the conservatory. Tasha, you will likely get the most use out of that, in addition to myself, that is filled with instruments. A place to perform or rehearse. The other staircase leads to an office for me. And again, each room open, like windows that the shutters are open, and it looks out on just desert, sand, blue sky, what appears to be sunlight. And then he takes you back out of the room over to the right, where there's a living room, and you see the couches that he was talking about. And there's another set of stairs that goes up a half flight and to a long hallway with 3 doors on each side and a door at the end.
These are the sleeping chambers. They are all the same. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, and there is a large bathing chamber at the end of the hall.
Athgarr, this is a significant improvement.
Much better.
And it not only sounds like home, but it feels like home, and it even smells like home.
That was my hope. And then you
Never
see...
thought I'd be, nostalgic for Thunder's Edge.
You see a figure come through the door of the closest bedroom and just sort of drift down the stairs. It's bipedal, mostly featureless, but it just stops and hovers in front of Athgarr. Are the sleeping rooms set and prepared for visitors? The figure just nods, and he says, "Very well, thank you. I will summon you if I need something." Nods again and just fades out. I hope you don't take this as a criticism, Tasha, but I decided I didn't want animals.
It's your mansion.
So, as I said, the sleeping rooms are all identical, so you have the run of the place. Make yourself at home.
Out
Thank
of
you.
game.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. Out of game. Athgarr, do you have the rod of whatchamacallit?
I thought for some reason we had 2 at one point.
And I think
He does not have a Rod of Resurrection.
Okay. And maybe I'm just remembering wrong. I know we have the Staff of Healing. So maybe I got those 2 confused. I just for some reason thought that we had 2 rods, and I don't know why.
I seem to recall that you got a second one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And I don't think we sold. I definitely
did
don't think we
not.
sold it. So I think
don't
there's 2
remember.
of them.
Yeah. And
would it have been
Sephyrna,
in our hoard?
it could be.
'Cause I don't remember getting it.
Sephyrna also has a Staff of Healing. You recognized it.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure we have 2 Rod of Resurrection.
I think so too, but
Because I thought we could, because doing Resurrection takes all of the charges on it, and I thought I could do it twice. So but I don't have 2 in my inventory. So. We have the bag of holding and the portal hole, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go to the end of the hall and take the room on the left.
Okay.
I'm going to go with my loot for a while.
Jess, why don't you take the first room on the left? I usually just take the first room on the right, because I'm usually the only one here.
I come back out of my room after dropping off my things.
Zorian,
Great.
stay in the manor, Gwen, because we have some sorting to do. I don't think we can open it in here.
Okay.
Did you check?
What did we figure out? Yes, you can.
We said we could.
Because the mansion is a non-dimensional space, which is different than an extra-dimensional space.
Okay.
Also, we need to figure out what we're going to do with Jas while we're gone. Did
What?
Viessa...
At the manor.
I think you should too.
And Viessa did say that she was going to ask Girta to sort of keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
I think that would be best.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe find some books or something.
And I sent a note to, or Arabelle sent a note to her parents about, or her father about getting him a
job on a ship.
Yeah.
Or like a short trip.
Yeah.
So he could sort of try out his sea legs. All right. As people begin to settle in, this is a good place to take a break. So we'll do that, and we will be back in 15 minutes. So don't go anywhere. welcome back. So, the night passes quietly and restfully in Athgar's mansion. And the following morning, you wake to smell interesting scents. Not necessarily all familiar, except to Gwen.
I hustle down.
There are several trays of fruit that are common to Thunder's Edge. There is the spiced egg scramble with potatoes and sausage and cheese that the Rykeliad tends to eat for breakfast. And there is a platter of what looks suspiciously like Hugh and Sar's muffins and pastries.
Is Athgarr already down?
Yes.
These are very good choices.
Well, I tried to think of what I would eat if I were home.
I told you it smelled like home.
On purpose.
This is amazing. Do you miss home? Is that why you're arranging your mansion to look like something that you might see in Thunder's Edge while you're cooking these foods?
I miss the atmosphere of home.
What
And
part?
I definitely miss some of the food.
Let me guess. You miss being bossed around and told what to do.
No, that's the part I don't miss.
Well, this is amazing. I didn't realize I missed these scents until I woke up and smelled them this morning.
Well, I think I remembered everything, but if I've forgotten something, tell me, and the next time we'll have it.
I'm going to dig in.
Yeah, you can see that Athgar's already had a muffin.
I come downstairs as well, start eating. Yum.
Aren't
Tell
we
'em it's all
supposed to
delicious.
eat breakfast in the manor?
Well, but I don't usually get this kind of food in the
Athgarr,
manor.
Athgarr says, excuse me for a moment, and gets up and walks out of the kitchen.
She can
Okay.
bring stuff in here if she's already.
Yeah.
We can bring stuff in, just not out.
Right.
Right.
True.
And a few minutes later, he comes back in, leading Bo and Vines and Sephyrna.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I hope that you slept well.
Aye. Comfortable beds.
Great.
Is Jas in the mansion too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's come down by now.
Okay.
It was a very pleasant evening apart from one rather surprising and confusing moment.
Did it involve Girta?
Yes. I think that she was looking for someone else. There was a tad bit of a misunderstanding, but we cleared it up.
Was she looking for Athgarr, perchance?
No, I think she was looking for Jas.
I don't know
Or-
who she was looking for. I simply know it wasn't me.
I see.
Is anyone blushing at the table?
She was a bit surprised.
Interesting.
I
Which
glanced
room
around.
were you staying in last night?
I think it was the blue room, and Athgarr goes, that was my room.
Wow, okay, so there's like, and then there's like invasion of privacy.
Athgarr, as much as I enjoy teasing you, I will speak with Girta. I don't want her to make you uncomfortable. Embarrassed, yes. Uncomfortable, no.
Well, we're leaving. We won't be here for some time. So,
It's still worth mentioning.
if you wish.
I do. I
So
guess
who's-
if you wish. Is that your wish that she desist?
I think that I will likely be sleeping in here from now on, even if we are back at your manor house.
If I ask her to leave you alone, she won't continue to bother you.
Oh, no, I understand. It's just that this is a little more comfortable. Not much, but a little. And I'm still tweaking. So,
I can understand your desire to stay in your own space. That's why I won't take offense that you think it's better than mine.
well, you're all welcome to stay here too.
I do rather like my home.
But especially if you have additional guests.
Of course. Well, eat up, everyone. We have a big day.
And they do so.
When I'm finished eating, I'm going to tiptoe back to my home and find Girta.
Okay. She's unsetting the table in the private dining room.
Did anyone eat there?
No.
Is Kaylin pissed? I asked Girta, is Kaylin upset that people aren't eating here?
Oh, no, she thought that y'all were leaving fairly early, and so she made those pocket breakfasts again.
Perfect.
So
Those will be welcome for lunch.
that's ready to go whenever you're ready to go.
Wonderful. Girta, might I ask, were you looking for Athgarr last night?
I was. I thought maybe I hadn't been clear enough. So I was going to actually just go talk to the young man and explain what I was proposing. And, if he said no, then that'd be that. But I wanted to make sure that there was no misunderstandings.
I think that it's good that you are looking to be clear, but after talking with Athgarr a little myself, I've come to understand that he's not interested in a bed companion at this time.
Well, he would have told me that last night if I'd actually found him in that room. As it
Indeed.
was, the gentleman who was there was quite kind, all things considered.
Well, I think perhaps it's a good time to move on.
Well, I've gotten instructions from a good friend of ours. I am supposed to be taking care of the tavern keeper from Ballinamard while you're gone.
Yes, it would be very helpful to keep an eye on him and just make sure that he's safe. He's
Well-
been through quite an experience.
That's my job, both from you and from the other lady.
I understand. I appreciate your diligence in taking good care of him. He is important to us.
Oh. Not at all. Happy to do it.
Very good.
Although
And-
he is definitely a little too young for me.
Understandable. And I'll let Athgarr know that that I've talked with you and that you understand that that it's time to move on.
Well, there's really nothing to move on from, but sure.
I'm sure there are many others who are seeking your attentions.
Oh, there are always others that are seeking my attention, but very few get it the way they want it.
Understandable. Very good. I'll let Athgarr know that we've talked.
All right. And, do you want me to gather up the breakfast pockets and take them anywhere?
If you could just gather them into a parcel and then leave it in the war room,
Certainly.
close to the door to Athgar's mansion. That's where we're having breakfast and finishing our planning this morning.
Ah, all right. Consider it done.
Very good. Thank you, Girta. And if you see Kaylin, please thank her for her thoughtfulness in having sandwiches prepared.
I shall definitely deliver that message. She'll be easier to deal with afterwards.
Good. So I head back to the doorway.
Okay.
And is Athgarr by himself or
no,
with
he's
everyone else?
he's in the kitchen with everyone.
Okay. Then I'll just enter the kitchen.
Is everything all right out there?
It is. We have lunch prepared and ready to go when you're ready. And I spoke with Girta. I believe she now understands that it's time to move on.
So, what you're telling me is that your maid's not taken at the moment.
She is not. I believe her attentions are much in demand.
I don't doubt that. Well, maybe if I come back.
I'm sure you will. And that Athgar's loss will be your gain, if you are lucky enough to secure her attentions.
Bo kind of looks at Athgarr, and Athgarr just... All right, well, the sooner we go, the sooner we can come back.
Well said. If you're ready to go, let's go grab those sandwiches and get on the road.
All right. So, satchels of wrapped, still warm breakfast pockets are waiting on the table in the war room as you all exit.
What supplies did we need to get today?
So, the second rod of resurrection needed to come out of the thing, correct? Or were
Right,
you
which we would have, I think we went through that last night. We said we were going through the...
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then
I will hand it to Sephyrna.
Ah, useful. I will take good care of it.
I am taking off Wand of the War Mage. And I am putting on the Ring of the Spell Storing. It currently has Immolation in there, but once I use it, I'm going to put another spell in there.
There was still a discussion of who would claim the Ring of Mind Shielding.
I would like it if no one else has a preference.
Because you are the one most able to bring us back. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm hoping that I can teach, if she doesn't already know, but I think Sephyrna can learn it from Balmus, but, along the way, perhaps we can share some of the Noctomancy spells, but for now, I think I have access to the most of them.
And let me check with Tosk and see if he had any luck last night. So I'll go look for him.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Mother Tassa was checking as well with the other dragons.
Yeah, she said she would contact you if she had any success.
Okay.
Did we just ask Oberus or Arilakis if there's any?
I did.
Oh,
I
you
don't
did.
have any.
Okay, you asked both. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't ask Arilakis. I just asked Oberus.
No, Athgarr asked Arilakis.
Oh, okay, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew he asked about if his father had been wearing one, but I didn't know if he asked if there were more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do we ask Jas?
We're
If
not
we
going to
can
take
borrow
Jas's
his?
ring. I don't think so.
All right.
Unless you want to vote, but I say my vote is no.
No, I'm just asking.
Okay.
If you don't think it's a good idea, then we won't.
I mean, we're a democracy.
We are.
It's not a Nikiocracy.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry. The ring of mine goes to Pam. Got it.
All right, then where are we going?
Well,
I check with Tosk and see if there's been any reply to the letter I sent my father.
oh yeah, and we have to check if Tosk found any.
But I think we should go to Dark Coast Keep.
Well, we can return directly to Ballinamard and save ourselves half a day's travel.
Yeah.
And we know along the way because we traveled there, so we can stay
Or
half hour out or whatever.
we can simply teleport to Jas's Inn.
Yeah, we could do that too.
We don't know if it's empty.
Well, it's locked up. It should be. I believe there was a sign on the door, something about a highly contagious disease.
True. Everyone's got the COVID.
Well, you tell me where you want. Oh, are we waiting? I'm so confused. We're waiting.
I thought
for
we weren't
Tosk.
going till tonight, so I thought we were doing
Yes.
like, supplies and
Yes.
stuff today.
That's true. We did say that.
Yeah, because we have to find out from Tosk if there's a message. We have to find out from Tosk if there's any more mind shielding rings.
We have to make sure Jas is set while we're gone. Okay.
Actually, Gwen already knows about Jas. Because she talked with Girta, and Girta's been assigned both by Gwen and by Viessa to take care of him.
Right, but we're trying to see if he can go on a trip.
Oh, right.
That's why she asked Tosk if she'd heard back.
The reply that I received shortly after arriving was that arrangements would be made and notification would be sent, but no notification has arrived yet.
Okay.
As for the rings, Both myself and Goethe attempted to discover if any were available, and we discovered several, none of which are available.
Their owners aren't willing to part with them, I assume?
They are not.
I suspect that will be the case most often.
Especially now that word is starting to circulate that attacks are happening, and that these rings appear to be a deterrent. Those who have them are clinging to them even more tightly than they were before.
That's understandable.
If word comes from your father, I will make certain that the young man is delivered where he needs to go, and we will be there to meet him when he returns.
Thank you, Tusk.
If there is anything else that I can do for you, you need only let me know.
Thank you, Tusk.
Of course. So, what supplies are we picking up? It dawns on me that, not to be contrary, but wouldn't it be better to start our investigation and exploration during the daytime?
The plan was to leave tonight, stay in the mansion, and start fresh in the morning.
Because we thought we would need things today. If we don't need anything, we can. So that, yeah, and that we would have our full complement of spells.
I see.
This teleport and the mansion will take slots. But if we don't need anything, I mean, we could.
Maybe we could just travel part of the distance to be closer so that we are ready to go the next day.
Well, we're going to teleport all the way, so.
Yeah.
Not looking to stage somewhere?
I thought maybe a half hour, but Athgarr thinks maybe in the inn.
Which makes me think.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands up and goes out of the room.
Does he do this all the time now?
Yep. At least he's thinking. That's good.
It is, but the man needs to learn to finish a sentence.
He just said he'd be right back.
That was a great look. He comes back a couple minutes later and holds his hand out and opens his palm, and there's a key.
What's the key for?
The inn?
The inn,
Oh.
so that we may use the door to go in and out of the building.
Oh, good plan.
What a novel idea.
And he shoves the key in one of the pockets in his vest. Well, I believe I have everything that I need, and our 3 newer companions said last night that they had everything they need, so Apparently, it is what do the four of you need.
I don't think we need anything.
And I guess we can go.
Yeah.
Tell me where you want us. In Jass's inn?
Yes.
Okay. And I teleport.
All right, I need you to roll percentile for me.
Two tens. I need to make my tens a different color, I think. Oh, there are two tens over there. 73.
There's a feeling of implosion and a feeling of expansion, and the group is standing in the darkened main room of the barracks in Ballinamard.
We need to go room by room, just make sure we're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I
All right.
start upstairs.
Everyone who is searching, roll investigation. And that's one thing we do have to figure out. We have figured out who is going to run vines and who is going to run bow, but we have not settled on who is going to run Sephyrna.
I can, Nikki.
Okay.
Okay. Then
We didn't define it, so but I'm
Right.
gonna let her
okay.
because she knows her healings.
Right. So go ahead and pull those character sheets up on D&D Beyond as well and roll for them as well.
Oh. Okay.
Do you know how to pull them up, Annette?
I'm looking. I'm figuring it out. And I'm doing vines, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. 31 for Tasha and 16 for vines.
Okay.
And this is investigation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 21 for Gwen. And a 28 for Bo.
All right.
26 for Arabelle. And a 6 for Sephyrna.
Oof.
I'm gonna change.
And Zorath.
16.
Well, that averages out to a 22. So that's pretty good. You are confident that you are the only people inside the barracks at the moment.
Excellent. Good. What do you think will happen when we're seen coming in and out of this
I don't know.
thing? Yeah. I'm going to, is there a back door? I'm going to go look to see if there's a back door or...
There is a back door.
Is there a
Awesome.
basement?
Yes. There's a root cellar.
Okay. I'm gonna go down to the cellar and look to see if there might be a secret way out. If Jass's dad worked for Viessa, there might be a way out of here that
Nobody knows.
nobody knew about.
Okay.
Very smart young lady. Very smart.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna use guidance.
Okay.
Because my roll was a fluke.
So you could always ask someone else to go down there with you.
With you?
Hi, Gwen.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll help Gwen look.
Oh, all right. So Gwen, roll investigation with advantage. And are you doing guidance on her then?
I'll give her guidance.
And
yes.
you add a d4.
$19.
You don't see anything that looks like it moves or slides or pushes or pulls. It just looks like a root cellar.
I cast find traps.
Okay.
Might be useful.
And what's the range on that?
Hold on. It's 120 feet. It would sense an area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph of warding, a mechanical pit trap, those kinds of things.
Okay. Nothing is making itself known to you magically through that spell.
From that. I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Looking around the root cellar, nothing in here is magical.
Okay. I'll check the first floor.
I'll do the same.
Again, apart from the chandeliers, the two big rings of candles that are hanging from the ceiling in the main room, nothing responds to your spell.
And no traps either.
No.
No, it was worth a try.
Can
We
we
don't
set
have
up
a
something
big-
like that? Can we set up something so that we can secretly enter or exit? I guess we could use something like Misty Step.
We don't have Dimension Door or anything to go out somewhere else in town, right? That's only one person, right?
Yeah.
Is there a window we could open?
Well, there is a back door.
Yeah, I think we should just do that.
Well, if you prop the door open enough that we could fit through it, then we can do pass without trace and visibility and come and go at will.
Okay.
Probably just pass without trace. I don't think that I can actually make all 8 of us invisible. Hold on, I'm looking at the spell here.
We need somebody that can cast mass invisibility.
All right, I can, but I only have 1 slot at that rank, and it is the most powerful rank I have. So
I would save it in case we need it if we do find the tunnels or something. probably.
Well, if we use this as our base, then we can scout from here, and it wouldn't have to be everyone.
Sephyrna can cast Windwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard about Windwalk since like.
Yeah, it's been a while. But actually, that's how Vines got to Duneshadow Manor.
Oh.
Windwalk, yes.
D&D 3.
And
Mm-hmm.
Vines can cast invisibility too.
For
And
all
then
of us?
Well,
Or just on himself?
Well, if he can cast invisibility, it means that he can. It's him at second level, and for every additional level spell slot you use, it's an additional person.
right. But what
Well,
if,
it wouldn't be all of us?
right? What if a couple people just went and scouted? Not the whole party. I don't know.
Well, that's certainly a possibility.
What?
Sending out a smaller group.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Well, what is our goal at this time? Is it to scout and get information?
Yes.
Now, question being, if we act normal, just like everyone else is acting normal, the orcs aren't going to notice or say anything. Would anybody else?
Yeah, maybe we don't need to be invisible.
I mean, I don't know. That's just a thought. You know, just like walk around and check out things. Nobody was out the other day, right? But it was night. No, it was.
It was
morning.
night and very, very early morning.
Right.
I mean,
So
I'm gonna look out the
it
windows.
was.
Can I see people out and about?
Are you opening the windows?
Oh no, no.
Because they're shuttered.
Oh yeah, never
Right.
mind.
this cold. So
It's cold.
we were here the other day. What, 2 days ago? We met the cleric at the Temple of Chorora.
Mm-hmm. And
Came to
some
the barrack.
and some orc
Right.
guards.
We came to the barracks to stay and found Jas very ill. And given that we had the means to do so, we went and got a cleric to help him because we didn't have a good experience at the Temple of Chorora. But
I like
there's
it.
a temple to Balmus and a temple to Chorora here. So Sephyrna and I, it's not that odd. Or they don't know that we weren't all here the whole time.
That's true too.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been staying at the barracks, and because Jas is in his room, he let us stay in ours. And so that's fine. We don't have to say we went and got anybody.
No.
I mean,
They don't know how many people came in. So
You
Right,
also did pass a temple to Quisva.
and we have a druid and a ranger.
yeah.
Or druids, do they Quisva? Is that
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Do we
Druids are the clergy of Quisva.
Right.
Rangers are the paladins of Quisva.
so
do
We're good.
we say where Jas is? Do we say that we took him someplace to
Just say
stay
he's
with him?
ill.
Oh, just okay.
He's
'cause we're
recovering.
coming- Yeah, because we're coming in and out, so I just wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, he's ill still.
He's recovering.
All right, so
Got it.
I guess as a group, we leave and go looking out the back door and go looking for the leaders, right?
Right. So let's look for, who did we decide that was the highest official? Was it a member of the council?
There is a speaker of the council.
Let's try to find that person.
I also think we should look at the shaman's house or whatever.
Yeah, the lodge.
I like the idea of the shaman's lodge as well.
We're looking for the apprentice there.
Mm-hmm.
So, does anyone know where the speaker of the council lives?
Did Jas tell us? Nope.
He told you of the council.
Yeah, I have all their names and stuff.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell me where they lived and things.
Right.
I'll figure that out.
I think we're going to have to ask around.
Yeah.
Can't be sneaky when you have to ask questions.
Maybe we could go to one of the other temples, the Quisva one, and say, hey, we're new to town, or I don't know. Can you tell us where the... I don't know. Sorry.
Why don't
I
we
just-
say that Jas has a question about his inn that needs to be addressed to the speaker,
Okay, that's good.
and he's too ill to come himself.
I like it.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right,
Go
so
out the back door.
where are you headed?
Could you put that map up on the screen for us?
Yes.
And we found it last time we were here.
Quisva?
The speaker, not, yeah, the council building or whatever.
Oh yeah. Let's try there.
That would seem to be a good place to start.
All right. The council house is right here.
Okay.
The barracks is right here.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So are we going stealthily, or are we going to just walk down the street?
Just walking.
Okay.
You step out the back door.
Mm-hmm.
It does lock with the same key.
Excellent.
And you hear sounds of people. People walking. You hear horses and carts moving down the roads. Sounds like a city.
Okay. We head toward the council house.
All right. As
Are
you
we all going?
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
to specify.
Mhm.
Okay.
stepping out onto the street causes the usual rubbernecking because you are dressed for battle. I mean, you are wearing armor and carrying weapons. Most of the people on the roads are just wearing clothes and coats. You're muted, Pam.
How much would our winter cloaks cover, though?
Some.
Yeah.
But, bows tend to stick up out of cloaks, and sheaths tend to hang lower than the cloaks, and plus you're strangers.
We would be wearing cloaks, though, for sure, at least.
Yeah. And so there's, kind of people like, oh, who are these people?
I give them friendly smiles.
Me too.
A couple
Morning.
of them look wary. Most of them are just kind of like, huh. There are a couple who are kind of like, morning, and just keep on walking.
I think, should we say, let's just be discreet and, maybe not say morning to everybody, but just...
The way we're dressed, we're not going to be discreet. The most
Oh, okay.
at least we can pull off friendly.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. I smile.
You make your way down to the corner. You turn right, head down to the next intersection, turn left, which leads you to the entrance to the council house. It is a very, very nice-looking building. It's the one that looks like it has been built from wood imported from elsewhere, because it's oak, polished to a shine. Darkwood doors, windows that are actual glass windows. Now the shutters are open, so you can see the glass windows. The door is closed.
The door is closed.
Mhm.
Knock.
To Quisva's thing?
No.
No, to the
Council.
council house.
Oh, to the council house. Okay, I missed that.
No answer.
Jas did say there was nobody here usually during the day, right? Unless they had a special thing going.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Can you
let's try to-
ask where the speaker lives? Message
What?
him? Can you message
Oh,
Jas and ask where he lives?
sure. Jas, do you know where the speaker lives? You can reply to this message.
After a slightly longer than usual pause. Hello? This is weird. You mean Speaker Gesos? He lives out toward the water? Southeast section? If you go that way and ask people, I'm sure you'll...
Yeah, that's... Okay. He says, southeast section by the water. And we're on the west side, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do we know where Quisva's temple is?
Yes, right next to the barracks.
Well, let's go there.
This is Quisva's temple, and that's the barracks.
Okay.
So,
Back on Quisva's temple.
Do we know what we're gonna say?
again, there's
I'm gonna let Vines introduce himself and ask about where the
Speaker
speaker
Gesos.
lives.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to be bold and just go in.
Okay,
I'll go with you.
we'll wait.
Inside the building, let's see. There are the inside of the building looks almost like the inside of a tree on its side. It's vaguely circular, and instead of windows, there appear to be knotholes spaced out fairly regularly. There's a warm, loamy smell that fills the space, and it is filled with roots growing out of the floor, but in a way that, after a moment and you sort of look at it, they look like they could be used as benches. Near the back of the main room, a rock covered in green living vines seems to sit as an altar of sort. The ceiling is covered in a luminescent moss that fills the entire area with kind of a soft, slightly greenish light. And there is a gentleman near the back, tending to the vines on the rock. He's dressed in rough but well-made cloth and leather, all dyed green, with brown boots, brown gloves, and a deep green hooded cloak where the cloak is back. From behind, you can see blonde hair streaked with white, and the tips of slightly pointed ears sticking up out of the hair. But he doesn't appear to notice you. I think you should take the lead on this.
Is there an area that looks more like an altar?
Yeah, he's at it.
Okay. I'm just going to slowly approach.
By the time you are within 15 feet or so, he straightens up a little bit, then stands up and turns around. You see he also has a full beard, the same color as his hair, and bright violet eyes that look a little suspicious right now.
How so? Oh, that they're looking at me?
Yeah.
Can I help you?
Good day to you. I am here to give praise to Quisva. But I'm new to this area, so I am unfamiliar with this temple. Is there somewhere in particular that I could go to pray?
Why? Why do you pray to Quisva?
She's my goddess.
Oh. I didn't know. Well, then, welcome, friend.
Thank you. I'm Gwenlaryn, Duneshadow. And you are?
Vesh Chofoh.
Pleased to meet you.
Welcome. Welcome home, sister.
Thank you. And this is my companion, Vines.
I also follow the lady. Serve as one of her clergy. Ah. Like me. Well, brother, welcome. Have a seat.
I sit.
Vines sits down next to you. For being made of roots, surprisingly comfortable. So, what brings you to our fair city?
We were visiting a friend who's taken ill.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Someone who lives here.
Yes, his name is Jas.
Oh no. Oh, I did see the note. I wondered. Is he going to recover?
He will. He's recovering now. He's just needing some time and rest.
Oh, good.
I'm sure that he'll be back in operation sometime soon.
I assume you went and spoke with the priestess in the Temple of Terrora. She's tending to him?
We spoke with her. I don't believe she's tending to him, though.
And who's seeing to his care?
We brought a healer with us
Oh,
that will see to his care.
I see. And who does this healer pray to?
I would know the answer. Gwen would know the answer to this question.
Balmus.
Balmus.
Oh. Huh. Serviceable, I suppose.
But it's
Well-
been much time since I've been to Temple, and I thought this would be a good opportunity since I'm here to visit one I haven't seen before.
Well, we're rather proud of this one.
It's amazing.
It is a gift from the goddess. She enabled our ancestors to request that a tree grow in this way for our purpose. And so we are fortunate to be able to worship the goddess of nature in a living temple.
It's amazing. And these seats, are these all living parts of the tree?
They are. And
And surprisingly comfortable.
thank you. I've done a little adjusting based on some feedback that I've gotten from others who've come. And it benefits the tree because the tree is able to share our warmth as we recline on its roots.
Oh, wonderful.
Everything here is meant to acknowledge that we are all part of the same system in the world.
So we are. I think it's very important that we keep that world in balance.
There is nothing more important. Well, I would be happy to pray with you or offer you my blessing, or if there's anything else I can do for you.
I think just a moment alone, and then We do have some questions being new to the area if you
Of
if you might
course.
indulge us.
I would be happy to. I will leave you to your prayer. I am tending to our altar. So when you are finished, just let me know, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much.
And he turns back around and picks up the watering can that he had, and he goes back to tending to the vines on the altar.
So I'll go through any typical rituals that I would use if in prayer to my goddess.
Okay. Vines does the same. You can hear him sort of mumbling softly under his breath.
I'll pray for her guidance and that she open the eyes of those who believe in her to the dangers around them.
Let's see, what would this be? Make a religion check.
Dirty 20.
A scent. New. Soft, pleasant, floral. Reaches your nose. And you have an impulse to look down.
I do.
One of the roots has sprung a flower.
Aw.
And Vesh. And he gets up and turns around, sees the flower, and his eyes widen. The goddess has heard you. And
Wonderful.
apparently she is in favor of whatever your prayer was.
I feel blessed indeed.
Very few get such a response from this temple.
How fortunate.
You should take the flower.
It won't harm the roots?
No. That is clearly a gift.
I will very carefully harvest the flower.
It comes away from the root very easily, leaving no sign on the root that it had ever been there.
What should I do with it?
Cherish it. It is a gift from the goddess.
Should I plant it?
I am not certain where in this area you would plant it, at least not at this time of the season. But I would just take it with you. The goddess knows much that we do not. Perhaps it is something that will reveal itself in terms of purpose sometime later. But for now, I can see that you have the favor of the goddess. So, I am at your service.
Well, thank you. We do need to speak with the Speaker of the Council. Jess had some requests regarding his business while he is unwell.
You seek Speaker Gesos.
Yes.
I don't believe he'll be in the council chamber. You would probably be best to seek him out perhaps at his home in the evening, For now, my guess is he would be in the Wolf's Den.
Is that an inn?
No, that is, I'm sorry. Of course, you don't yet know all of the different shops. That is actually the breeder's den for the Wolf Clan.
Oh. I've heard of these wolves.
They are beautiful creatures, and Speaker Gesos is quite diligent in training them. So, chances are good, unless there is council business, he'll probably be there during the day.
Could you indicate to me how to get there?
Oh, absolutely.
And to his home, just in case I should miss him there.
If you follow the road directly out of the temple, it will wind you around the outer edge of the city. After you pass the herbalist's shop, the Wolf's Den is the next business that you'll encounter. But when you come to the edge of town, don't follow the road out of town. Continue to bend around the outer edge of the city. And then you'll find him.
And if he should not be there?
His home is further along that same road. If you pass the second dock, you will have gone too far.
Very good. Thank you so much for your time.
It has been a pleasure meeting you, Gwenlaryn Duneshadow.
And a pleasure meeting you. I hope to come back and see you again soon. At least for the short time that I'm here in town.
You will always be welcome here.
Thank you. All right, Vines, let's see if we can find the speaker.
Vines? Your name is Vines? It's a nickname that was given to me by the others in my unit. I am part of the Aecathan military. Oh, I see. Interesting. Well then, Vines, I wish you the blessing of Our Lady as well. Thank you very much. I will look forward to coming back. This is the most beautiful temple I believe I have ever set foot in. I'm pleased that you think so. And Vines turns to follow you out.
Very well.
Meanwhile, outside, there have been some strange looks. Not unfriendly, just who are those people loitering around the temple? And a group of city guards that are made up of both humans and orcs comes by, and they just kind of stop, and one human and one orc leave the group and walk over.
Greetings.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Anything we can do for you? I
Our
haven't seen you before.
we're visiting. But two of our party worship Quisva, and we're giving them some time to pray.
Oh, right. One of those. Say no more. I understand. And the orc is kind of chuckling. Anything we can do to help you while you're here?
No?
No, we came to visit a friend, and So we're just seeing the city while we're here.
Oh, you know somebody who lives here.
Yes.
Who's your friend?
Jas at the barracks. We were friends of his late father's.
Oh. He's apparently really sick.
Yes, luckily we were here, and I point to kind of motion to Sephyrna. Lady Sephyrna and I both follow Trora, so we've been able to.
Oh no, Sephryna's
No.
a Balmosian
not Trora.
cleric.
Oh, sorry. Are both healers, so we've been able to tend to him.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yes.
Glad to hear it. Do you know when he's going to be open again?
I think just a few more days. He's recovering well, just resting.
Good.
I think he probably overdid it, taking care of everything on his own.
Yeah. He works really hard. But, yeah, I'm hoping he'll be open again soon, because the food at our barracks, nowhere near as good as the stuff he makes, eh? Yeah. Make good food. Yep. Alright, well, tell him the guards pulling for him to get healthy real quick.
We will do that.
And you need anything, just flag one of us down. We're here to help.
Thank you.
Have a good day. They walk back over to the rest of their squad, and there's a little bit of conversation. A couple of them kind of glance over at you, and then they just kind of look your direction, nod, and continue on the path they were traveling. Gwen and Vines eventually emerge.
Did you learn anything?
I learned that apparently Quisva likes Gwenlaryn more than she likes me.
Aww.
Or maybe
Well,
it was
interesting.
maybe it was just the quality of the prayer. I don't know, but she got a flower.
Ooh. Flowers are nice.
But that flower also impressed the hell out of the high priest.
That's good.
So we were able to find out some information. Apparently, when Speaker Gesos is not doing council business, he's working at the Wolf's Den, which is their kennel.
We walked by there previously. We know where that's at, yeah.
Yeah. And he apparently is one of the people that helps train the animals.
Huh. Well, let's give that a try. So we head that way.
Oh, just briefly give them we were stopped by the guards.
Oh,
They
true.
wanted to know. Just so we told them all the things that we said.
Well, I'm glad that I didn't piss off both temples.
No, I'm sorry. So you actually, there were humans and orcs working together, and you actually talked to one of each.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be able to get used to that.
Who is speaking now?
Vines.
Because we told them what we were going to do, right?
It's still very difficult for him to believe because being in the army.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because I was like,
Yeah. So he's just verifying because, as he said, this is really hard for him to wrap his brain around.
got it.
It's unnerving. I agree.
I would imagine so. Probably won't be saying anything if we run into any more of them. I don't trust myself to say the right things to a orc.
Fair.
So I have the directions to the wolf's den.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go?
We shall.
Do we know what we're gonna say Jess's question is?
Ooh.
That's probably something we should figure out before we get to him, then.
Maybe something about shipments
Or
of things that he would
perhaps-
need to prepare.
Or perhaps a
Maybe he
question
needs help.
of assistance. Yes, that's just what I was
What-
thinking.
What is
the order?
what is our
Wait. He needs to hire people.
At least a person.
Yeah.
what is our goal with talking to Gesos?
Guess us.
I
Yeah.
think we want to see how, affected, and if I can.
Fake the hey, I wanted to pray over you situation again.
Well, I don't think he's going to allow that, but if he's by himself, maybe we can just, tackle him and get it done.
Maybe not that.
No?
No.
Because
That would be super
that's-
direct.
That's surely not going to cause any sort of commotion or bring violence down upon us.
What I really want to do is figure out
Well,
where our visitors are coming from.
Do you have a question you can ask that will ascertain that information?
No, because he's not going to tell us.
No, I think he's gonna have to be cured before he'll tell us anything like that. But if we can get him, then he'll be a great source of information.
so I don't think I can actually do the healing part. I think we needed to teach Sephyrna to do that.
Did they not come with their
Actually,
they
depending on
taught, right?
Well, depending on how many memories have been changed, I have through the grace of Dressfiend been granted the ability to reverse a single change.
So the reverse anomaly.
Yes.
Oh, right, I do have that. It's a paladin one. I thought I didn't have it. I just didn't look at the right level. Okay, yeah, I have it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if he's alone, I think we should talk to him, and then you can try the praying thing and see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't work, we might have to try Gwen's approach.
Well, I was thinking I might talk to him about the possibility of acquiring a pup.
Okay.
Athgarr,
Yes.
you can cast the reverse anomaly.
Yes, I can.
And how high? What rank is the highest you could cast it at? I can only affect one person because I can only cast it at 4th rank.
I can affect multiple people if necessary.
Okay. So if there's multiple, like 2 or 3 people there, we might be able to do.
Okay. Let's hope.
How do you touch more than one person at a time? Could you just touch?
Yes.
Kumbaya,
Yeah.
my lord.
And you get a blessing, and you get a blessing.
And you got you have a memory returned to you, and you have a memory returned to you.
Power
We all
of
stand-
Dressfiend compels you.
We
Pretty
all
much.
have hand in hand standing.
Okay.
Right. That also works. Is to just have them hold hands,
Yes.
and then you can cast a spell that affects the number of them.
If there were puppies involved, that would be a lot easier.
True.
Let's wrestle some puppies.
That's actually an interesting question.
Yes.
This.
Are the animals affected?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a question we probably should have asked beforehand, but...
Send a message.
Um,
I can ask them.
How was Jas supposed to know that?
I
Well,
actually
animals
was
did.
thinking perhaps Mother Tassa might be able to shed some light.
Oh.
I would wonder if the animals were reacting to the orcs.
I don't know.
Gwen can ask the puppies if their masters are acting weird.
Ooh.
I can.
Well, that's interesting.
Let's go. I can't wait to get my hands on those puppies.
All right. Let's give it a go.
All right. You make your way along the edge of the city until you move around the herbalist shop that you had seen earlier. Now the door is cracked open. There are clearly lights on inside, and you can see someone moving around in there as well. As you move past it, you begin to smell fur. And you start to hear some occasional barking, some growling, some yipping of higher toned barks.
I walk faster.
As you approach, you see this looks more like a stable than a shop. There are 4 large pens that both have a section clearly that leads into the inside of the main building and a fully fenced in outside. And you see that there are a variety of canines. There is a pen that holds mastiffs. There is a pen that holds huskies. There's a pen that holds St. Bernards. And then the largest of the pens holds wolves. Let's see. All right.
I head for the wolves.
Okay. Make a perception check.
That's a 30.
Okay. The wolf pen is closest to the St. Bernard pen. And there are puppies, probably between 6 and 8 weeks old, in the St. Bernard pen. In the wolf pen, however, there are some that look to be younger, but there are no puppies per se. As you approach, several of them stop and sort of turn your direction to look at you. One of them steps out from the pack and moves toward the end of the enclosure.
I cast speak with animals.
Okay.
Greetings, my friends.
You are not friend. You are
I would
stranger.
like to be. I would like to be your friend
Why?
because you are one of the most beautiful creatures I've ever beheld.
Beauty is not useful.
No, but it is greatly appreciated.
Not by wolves.
How did you come to be here?
I was born here.
Are you pleased to be here?
I would rather be out, running and hunting. But my kin are here. My pack is here.
I understand. Do you consider the humans, the two legs, to be part of your pack?
There is one who we accept. The other, he is not worthy.
How did this one prove his worth to you?
When last my dam whelped, she would have not whelped live puppies were it not for the help of the one.
That is impressive.
He assisted. All the puppies lived. My dam recovered.
That is worth loyalty.
He is kind, firm, but kind.
Loyalty is a wonderful trait.
Although his scent has changed.
How so?
He smells less somehow. He is not changed in his acts, but his scent is different.
Have you noticed that about others in this town as well, who have entered this space?
I do not commit their scents to memory. They are not worthwhile.
There is a sickness in this town. It may have affected the one.
Then he must be made well.
It is my goal to make him well.
Then you would be a friend.
Then I will aim to do just that. And in so doing, prove my worth to you.
We will watch. If you harm him, we will see that your lifeblood decorates the ground.
As I would expect. No harm will come to him. My companions and I will see to that.
More two legs.
The sickness is strong. It will take many of us to conquer it.
If your pack follows you, and you can make the one better, we will accept your pack.
Thank you. Is the one here?
In the cave.
Then we'll get to work. So I go in the direction that he indicated.
He indicated in the building, like in the main building. So you see several sets of eyes looking at you like, well, because all everyone else heard was growling and yipping.
I believe the person we need to speak with is inside. At least that's what the animals told me. The wolves believe that there may be someone who needs our assistance. Trying not to say it just outright in case anyone can overhear me.
Do they know?
They do.
How? Oh, that's fascinating. Well, that's another bit of information we didn't have, that there's actually a change in scent. I wonder if anyone knows that.
Might be that something only the wolves would know.
Well, I'm certain that's something that we can be put into use. But,
Yes.
Let's go see if we can find this person that the puppies say is needing our help.
Let's go in the cave.
All right. As you
Yeah.
turn to enter the main building, that's where we're going to stop for the evening.
Puppies!
Puppy!
No
Not
puppies for you.
Wolves, St. Bernards, Huskies, and Mastiffs. What a
Yes.
choice. Woo!
Yes.
But no newfies.
No.
No new.
Another day.
No.
A mastiff would be fun. Okay.
We, the reason that Leslie brings that up is we were traveling, a bunch of us yesterday, and we ran across a young chocolate Newfoundland.
So soft.
So soft, and you could
All
see
floof.
that the dog is going to be huge when it finishes growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like small pony sized.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Gargantuan.
And so soft.
Was soft.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for your attention. We do appreciate it. It's the biggest compliment you can give us. And we'll be back next Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, with another episode. So be well until then, and rejoin us next Tuesday, and let us welcome you back once more to the lands of Aecathan. Good night, everybody.